our company made a very strong showing of $126 million, and our company is showing an increase of about 24%, or about $156,000 net profit. And this makes for a great year 12. Hello, my name is Dave Marr, and I've been successfully helping students for the last 20 years pass their BSG online game. My videos are designed to cut the fluff and tell you the real deal on how to win the game. The business strategy game is a very tricky game in which a few oversights can make a company go bankrupt. If you're looking to learn more about the business strategy game, then you're on the right channel to learn how to get the advantage and beat the competition. Let's get started. I am going to start in year 12 as there are so many year 11 videos out there with opening moves that don't get into detail about how to really read and understand the game. People just end up copying and pasting numbers from a YouTuber and hope for the best. This video is designed to help you understand how to play the game. To give us a roadmap on how to play the game, I've separated the 10 BSG screens to 5 auxiliary screens, 2 secondary market screens, and 3 primary branded market screens, which I call the Holy Trinity. The 5 auxiliary screens are finance and cash flow, corporate citizenship, celebrity endorsements, compensation and training, and production facilities. It's my approach to start with the easier auxiliary screens first. And I like to start from the bottom, which is my own approach. On the finance page, we'll have a look at the loans here. And we can see that we have 2 loans outstanding here, which is at 7.5% and 8%. Is that we're able to pay down these loans and instead refinance these loans to a lower interest rate. So now the new lower interest rate is 5.8%, and the 2 more expensive loans have been paid down. I will buy back all of our shares, as buying back shares helps decrease the shares outstanding, which helps increase EPS. It also lowers retained earnings, which is a component of equity, which helps increase ROE. And by increasing those 2 values, EPS, ROE, it helps increase stock price. The finance screen is more or less done, although we'll come back to it a little bit later. The next auxiliary screen is corporate citizenship. This screen, as read here, an aggressive and astute pursuit of social responsibility strategy over 5 years can increase the company's image rating by 15 to 20 points. More or less, this screen is all about your approach on how to get a high image score by the end of the game. Therefore, is that you won't see any immediate benefit or a very small one to start. However, over several years, this is your company's ability, okay, to raise up your image rating from 60, 70 to 80, 90, perhaps even 100. There are 3 ways to increase image rating. One is SQ, the other is market share, and the third is, of course, corporate citizenship. The third supplementary screen is celebrity endorsements. In this case, our company only got 1 celebrity. Normally, you're able to make bids for celebrities here. All offers this year have all been taken, and therefore there's nothing to bid on. And there's a spending cap here, which is only it's an option to use to control your spending. There's 2 caps to look at. The spending cap is 1, and this is an optional thing to use. You don't have to put a number there, because there's actually an inherent cap of only 3 celebrities to be awarded in a year. No more than 3 celebrity contracts in the same year can be awarded. So that makes 3 auxiliary screens from the bottom. So now let's start at the top again. I know it's unconventional, but I find that doing it from the bottom first is easier than starting at the top. I know it's weird. It's my own approach. Compensation and training. Base wages here is at 1%. Often, whenever I see students play the game, I see wage increases of 5, 10%. When I was 19, 20 years old, I didn't know what a fair wage was. Now, barring COVID scenarios, a fair wage is somewhere between 1 to 2%. I've had experience petitioning my employer for higher wages in the past. So therefore, is that getting 1 to 2% really is the norm for most industries. It's not 5, 10%. But if you have an employer who's giving those wage increases, let me know, okay? I don't prefer incentive pay or fringe benefits. Other experts may want to include it. This is more of a style thing. I don't like it. However, I do invest in the best practices. As you can see here, I have 7,500 in each. Now, this is overkill. Perhaps the value could be at 5,000. Is that it really debates on what your style is. A person could do a variety of options here. I just simplify it for myself. I prefer 40 employees to one supervisor, and also with a 1% wage increase here too. Let's go over to production facilities. This is the last of the auxiliary screens. As you can see here, our company has gotten upgrade C so far. This is a strong upgrade, in my opinion, as it helps increase the SQ of all products by 1 star. That's very, very strong. Every upgrade has its own strength. This reduces reject rates. This reduces production run stub costs, which is good for high model strategies. And upgrade D is specifically good at K for the higher productivity region, which is North America and Europe, Africa. As a point of interest is that in this game was invented back in the early 90s. However, it still holds true today, is that both North Americans and Europeans are stated to be more productive than Asian Americans, or sorry, Asians living in Asia or Latin Americans. That probably doesn't float anymore in 2023 onwards, but that's where it's at. Is that it is an open secret in a sense that the LA plant is a good plant to build in. The plant is a low-cost region, and today, LA has the highest tariff. In terms of tariffs, is that LA has the highest tariff at $10. Asia Pacific has the second highest at $8. Europe, Africa has the third highest tariff at $6, and North America has the fourth highest tariff, which is the lowest, at $4. There's also an additional $1 shipping charge if you were to ship any shoes internationally versus just sending your shoes domestically. Example, Latin America to Latin America does not include an extra $1 shipping charge, but includes it if it's sent from Latin America to the other 3 regions. Since I built the plant, I will build 5,000 in Latin America. Specifically, down here is how you build capacity. And up here is where you build equipment for that capacity. I prefer always new equipment. Nothing used, nothing refurbished, always new for me. Other people, they can think other things. And of course, as I'll also continue on with getting upgrades to have it all match up here. Looks pretty good. Is that the other upgrades are debatable of what to get. Upgrade A is also fairly solid. But actually is that we could take upgrade D, because this is a North America plant, and maybe upgrade A in Asia Pacific, because this upgrade helps North America specifically. So those are the 5 auxiliary screens. So let's move on to the secondary markets. There are 2 secondary markets. Private label is one, and the other is internet. These markets are part of the game and should not be ignored. So looking over at the private label screen, what is private label? Private label is private companies outsourcing production for their private label. The best example is Costco and their Kirkland brand. Costco outsources their products to some other company that makes it, and they put their label to it. So that's a private label. There are 6 companies in this industry. This is an important number, because the company is able to get double its respective market share before it surpasses the market share limitation. So for example, there's 6 companies in the industry. So 1 divided by 6 is 16.67%. Times by 2 is 33.3. Your game will be different. depending how many companies are in the industry, but it works under that math. So let's do 543. Try to go up a little bit. The big number to look for here is that our company is trying to get 33.3% down there. Right there, 33.3%. I've also put in the other numbers here as well. So 33.3 for all of these numbers. Our company is attempting to produce these products for our customers at the lowest price possible with the highest quality, meeting the global minimum for the year at hand, which is actually it's 1 SQ lower than the industry average. So currently in Asia Pacific, we have a cost of 2103, and this will always be different, and we'll have to be redone every single game, every single year in the future. So 2103, we'll bring it down to 52, 2091, 2104. So 2103 is the lowest price. Now this had the advantage as I had done this the previous year, year 11, but in the case of Latin America, this is a new plant with new circumstances to look at. So let's have a look here. Is that the price is $49.48, which is absurd, and the reason why it's absurd is because all of the company's production is being sent over to private label. So let's go back to the brand production screen and put the difference. So let's count this. 6,000 less 568 is 5432 here. All right. So 2396 is the cost of private label in Latin America. Let's bring it down. 2396. 2423. So therefore, is that we can see is that in this particular case, enhanced styling and features is not more cost efficient than using superior materials. And more or less, this has to be done in every single game for all of these markets. This is where it gets tricky. All of these can be put on, and in the case of viewing the competition, we now are going to look at the competitive intelligence reports. This cannot be looked at in year 11 because nobody knows what's going to happen. So therefore, year 12, some people will not know what to do because they've never been tested on it yet. But let's focus in on this now. We can see that our company D, let's zone in here, had a price of $31.92. Company C had a price of $29.40, and company F had a price of $30. We want to have a price that's able to sell. So $31.92 is actually, which is our price, is actually higher than both company F and company C. Any company that underbids us, example company B or A, will get the bid and not us. And in fact, that's why our company got the bid, is because we're lower than them. So this is actually a precarious position to be in, because easily a company A or B, if they're smart and they're paying attention, they may lower down their bid and then we'll sell nothing. So we don't want that. So let's type in a price that's lower than the other two compares at $28.42. In the case of Europe, Africa, looking at our competitors here, our company's at $36.86. This is below company A, C, and E, and just marginally higher than company F. So in this case, is it really necessary to lower down the price? Well, a person could be conservative, but we don't have to lower down the price a whole lot either. Is that I've lowered down the price to $35.45 here. This is being conservative, where we are ensuring that we'll get the bid. The other competitors may become more competitive in the future. So having a look at Asia Pacific, company C is $28.50, and company F is $32.99, and our price is $31.87. You can see that right there. So our company could perhaps lower down the price a little bit. So let's lower down the price to maybe, well, maybe $31.66. It's just a bit to ensure our company gets the bid. Conceptually, our company could have just left the bid as it stood, as we are still $2 lower than company F. We're not like the one that's closest to the top who sold the bids. So company F is the one who's the most exposed, but it's debatable. You're playing against human players, and human players do weird things sometimes. It's the human element. Let's have a look at Latin America. For Latin America, our company did not go into private label. And the reason why we didn't go into the market this last year is because the company did not have an LA plant. Because the company has an LA plant this upcoming year, our company is able to send shoes over to Latin America, and we are able to sell shoes foregoing that $10 tariff while still having relatively low costs. And more or less, this is private label. The second secondary market screen is the internet market, which is technically part of the branded market. There's only three features to look at here, which is the price, search engine advertising, and free shipping. Broadly speaking, free shipping is not normally done, and search engine advertising is only strong in the later stages of the game. I attribute that because the internet market becomes bigger and bigger later in the game, but it's not as important in the earlier stages. The rough analogy here is that in the case of a company like Amazon, it has more sales in 2020 versus back in the year 2000. And the retail price, broadly speaking, is just is a connection to the wholesale price of 40% more. So, and this is the internet screen. Moving on to the holy trinity of the BSG, there's three screens that make up the branded markets. The three screens is brand production, distribution, and the wholesale marketing screen. So let's start on wholesale marketing. Our company is actually short shoes here, which is a point of interest. You can see the negatives here, is that if it's a positive number, that means it's in surplus. And if it's a negative number, it means that there's a shortfall. If it's a surplus, it means the company has shoes. And having a surplus is not necessarily a bad thing. Having a surplus helps smooth out shipments to the regions. So one year could be a little bit short on production and your company is able to use up that surplus, or the company is able to put extra shoes into the market for future growth in the future, as every year your company is able to grow in market share, and not every year will your company expand. So therefore, is that if there's any surplus shoes, it's able to satisfy that growth. Advertising is one feature that is often used. I like having it around 15, 20,000. Mail and rebates about $5, and delivery time about 2 or 3. Retailer support is also very important, as you want to have retailers on your side. 5,000 is approximate maintenance of your current retailers, and anything more, you'll be gaining retailers, but at a very high cost. You can see here, if I put 10,000, the company's net profit goes down. So, in having no retailer support, the company's profits go up. This is a very key feature. There are times where a company is under threat and should just take out the retailer support. This will definitely help increase net profit in the short term anyways. The next screen that we'll be looking at is the production screen. I have a very basic strategy here. We're able to change it, maybe around 450 or 400 models here. Our company is able to increase superior materials, enhanced styling and features, and TQM. There are many strategies out there by other players that have a high TQM strategy. The strategy has merit. The high quality, high model strategy is in fact the strongest strategy in the game. However, it's the most expensive to pull off correctly. So if you do it correctly, then everything is great. However, it's very tough to get into that position. And also, theoretically, any strategy, okay, the other three strategies, which is the lower left, low models, low quality, low models, high quality, and high models, low quality, theoretically, should be able to beat out the high quality, high model strategy in the early to mid game. This is a cumulative game, so therefore you'll have to weigh out, do you want early game strength or late game dominance? And well, it depends. Sometimes a company is able to win by having a strong early game, and effectively is able to outcompete a very strong, slow-moving strategy, okay, which may ramp up in the late game, but because they took so long, the first 5 years, it still carries through, and everything is cumulative. It's a strategy. It really depends who you're playing against. I'll say this much though. There's another popular YouTuber out there. His name is specifically Derek Barnick, and he's popularized the 5 TQM strategy, which is, well, it is very robust. So for the purposes of this video is that let's try the higher quality strategy as well, just for fun. Okay. Is that you can't have the best of everything. You have to weigh it out, and it is debatable. Okay, about what level your quality should be at, or what models your product should be produced at as well. That's why there's some back and forth. It's a holy trinity, okay, because you have to do brand production, and you have to market that brand, and then distribute it. So there's 3 components, and they're all quite interwoven with each other. So therefore, is that now that our company has to set a strategy, our company can go back to wholesale markets and check to see how things are looking. And negative 307 here, 522 here, and surplus and 355 here. Our company is also able to go to the distribution screen and able to distribute all of our extra shoes here as well. We're able to go put on 3411 here, the 650 in Latin America. So we can see here our company has only a few hundred shoes per region, 200, 100, negative 300 here, and 534 here. For example, for us to take this surplus and move it on this side, I would decrease Latin America by 300, move it up to North America, decrease North America's the shoes going to North America from Asia Pacific down by 300, 3111, and then bump up the 3300 here. As you can see, is that all of our demand has been met with a small amount of inventory left over. Plausibly, our company is able to have more surplus. I would say that surplus is only an issue if it's more than, let's just say, your company's annual demand. Even half is red flag. But right now, okay, this is not a big deal. Like, this is only 200 shoes, and we sell 4,600 for the entire year. All right, with our game complete, our company is able to review last year. Our company made a very strong showing of $126 million. There's an extra 3 zeros at the end here. That goes for everything in the BSG. And our company is showing an increase of about 24%, or about $156,000 net profit, or $156 million for the year. And this makes for a great year 12. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and leave a comment for further ideas of other topics I can cover in the BSG. Thanks, bye.